Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Marzi. Today we're going to be picking up where we left off with the hand. I have actually done another recording since, but the capture did not work well. So you'll see up here I've got the history of the project with a whole bunch of stuff. So you can see this is where we last left off in the previous video, and I'm just going to quickly go through to show you all the changes I've made. So just changing the proportion, adding in the second joints in a bit. There you go. You can see I just slowly changed the positioning of a bunch of it and continued to make very minor tweaks. But yeah, so this is where I had gotten it. Then after seeing the recording and was like, none of that was captured. So we'll pick up here. I did mention in that recording that I actually have reference up this time and the last time I recorded. Not displaying it at the moment, but if you guys are interested in having that displayed, please let me know in the comments and I'll add it to the next video. So we're getting very close to the stage where I think we can actually turn this into proper topology and sculptable mesh. Just gonna double check lastly the proportions of things. I think I actually want to have this one a bit bigger, just changing to scale to bring I have a feeling the finger to palm ratio is just a little bit off. This one's standing out, it's just a bit too big right now. Just gonna lower that one as well. I think the tip needs to be bigger for that one. Nice chunky ring finger. There we go. Right, and a bit bigger in here. So just making sure I scale it properly before I go to the trouble of making it a mesh. We could probably get away with this being a bit smaller as well, and then maybe a little bit further out. Yeah, and can give it a bit more tilt. Also bring it to the same position as the other fingers. Don't want to have the middle finger just jut out a little bit more than the rest. I think that is it there. There we go, because of how they... Alright, I'll move that back a bit, just given how flat it all should be. And looking at that silhouette, it is looking very janky, so we want to move that somehow. Doink. Maybe the overall fingers actually, or thumb, is too big. A bit off still. It's not terrible. It may be because of this curve here, or it needs to be swooping inwards, and because it's going outwards. Also, feel free to give me some tips in the comments and stuff. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the previous video, but I'm pretty new to sculpting, and this is the very first hand sculpt I'm trying to do, so very much a learning process for myself, and hopefully either a good learning experience for others or an opportunity to try teaching a random person on the internet. How fun. So yeah, I'm gonna do I'll do a quick save. Not much has changed from that previous version, but I'll also go down, I believe it's the adaptive skin. Yeah, cool. So here, as I just showed you, you can see what the topology is going to look like with it at the moment. It's got Dynamesh, some density, and some other stuff that I honestly haven't played with any of it too much, but this way we can tweak the settings a bit to try and get something that's close to what we want. Looking very much like an inflated hand glove right now. Cool. I don't hate it. The topology down in the palm is definitely looking a bit sparse, but we can change that up a bit later. And given this is more of an anatomy study than getting it to be like a game ready model or anything, I may be using Sculptors Pro a fair bit to just really focus just on the anatomy itself. And then later I can change it up if need be. So with that in mind, I think this will actually do for the moment. So do that. And now we should be able to just, yeah, cool. Just like that, we got our hand with a stupidly large amount of topology. Ah, okay. Strange. We'll bring down the resolution a whole bunch after seeing that. Even that is a lot. That makes me wonder why we have these large looking bits of topology when they technically don't even exist. Is it at this stage? Or is it very base layer? Okay. So we'll want to have that low. Okay, we're getting somewhere. And that high. Okay. As you can tell, haven't used these too much, but what it looks like is Dynamesh does its usual thing of just making a whole bunch of mesh and topology that you can work with, not necessarily all that good, and then there we go, just to clean up those borders a bit. I think they'll be handy for when we're putting in the crease of the knuckles and on the inside and on top. So I just want to keep those. And then as I was saying, it seems the density will actually change the overall topology of this. I'm going to turn that one off, which seems like a strange kind of workflow to me, at least, but we might want to keep that a bit low. Or do we want to just go all in, have it look like the rubber glove it should be? We'll go back down to 2, have another look. No, I think 3 will be a bit easy to work with just because it smooths this area out. Cool, we'll do that, make another one and go into that copy. So what it's done is it's made a new subtool, a new tool. So that was the previous one that we made that's just stupidly dense in topology. As you can see in my top left, it's got 631,000 bits of topology. Now that we've got that sorted, we can actually get on our way. Just getting these flattened out. And carving into here a bit so we can try and get that indent, I guess. So you might want to call it the concave shape rather than the other one. I'm sure someone else can correct me on which one's which. What you will notice watching most of my videos is my brain don't work well with words, so that will definitely be the things that I say but question a fair bit, which is totally fine and normal for some people maybe. Cool, and then just want to show a bit of the form with the bones coming in. That's just a general pass, and I can just bunch this up. wrist. And we'll continue to just bring this down a whole bunch. In fact, I might just go ahead with the move brush. And I think with the way the hand shape, we want to keep out and down there a bit. And push this all in quite a bit. I think down the bottom. I'm just going to do it a bit excessively at first. Just so we can build it up a lot easier rather than having to shave down and build up at the same time. Now this would be a lot easier to work with if we had lower topology, just because we'll be doing less movements for a larger area, but I'm kind of liking working with it a bit rough. I'm just seeing kind of all the little grooves and stuff that are getting created. So I want to try to get the wrinkles happening in a way, and then simulate a little bud that's kind of pops out here. This feels like it should be a bit of a sharper angle and billows out more towards the bottom than the top. Could also make it pinch a bit more just where the connection to the pinky is on the side. And we will go in like that. Have it just ease out a bit more. This will definitely get changed in the future, but for now I'm liking that. Big thumb bits. We'll smooth it out, try and get less detail in there. And what could be handy at this stage is actually go for a quick Dynamesh and lowering the topology a bit, just so, like I said earlier, contradicting myself, could be good to have a little bit less to work with. I might just do a Z remesh. Yeah. We'll just see how this goes, and then we can tweak the settings after. I didn't say to keep groups, so those are going to vanish. Yeah. As you can see, yeah, I need to bring that up way more. But then it's definitely helped a bit. Okay, we'll undo that. Maybe do a Dynamesh instead, and just lower the resolution down there below a bit if we can. Settings are just way too sensitive. And do that, have a look at how that comes out. Okay, not too different, to be honest. Have the outside peak a bit more. Okay, like that. I am a bit too focused, so my chat's been a bit all over the place for this. I'll try to keep it up. Definitely a new learning experience for myself, and having to kind of talk through the process that I'm going through. So just with how it connects to the wrist, there's that kind of weird jutty out bit. So that's why we've just added a bit of mass there. And then we'll bring this down just to flatten it. Yeah, okay. And we can bring a bit back here. Okay. And then we will just add a bit in here. Now, hopefully this is recording properly and fine. And then we'll just get rid of a bit more back here. Just because it'll be easy enough to build it up. Still looking quite boxy, so I'm just going to try doing a big move and kind of bring these bits in and up. There we go. And once again, looking up top left to see how that silhouette is sitting. So I'm just gonna do a quick mask here. And just so I can bring this down, holding down Alt to get it to unlock, just for any of the newbies, fellow newbies I should say. And I'm using the mask lasso tool just because you can get a really straight edge, so like that little border. So I do this to unmask it. You can sometimes get that, especially when you're doing it with the brush. So with the lasso you can just get rid of it super easy. Okay, just gonna not move but just tilt it out a bit. Maybe a slight dodge out the side. Yeah, that feels good. Yeah, so looking at the hand, it actually looks like a hand right now, so I'm happy with that. And can fix up this little joint here a bit as well, so just by pulling this out. For anyone that is new to ZBrush, you'll notice my layout looks a lot different than, or at least quite different to the base. I took some time to make my own UI just because I figured if I'm going to be spending a lot of time here, I want it to be nice and pretty and something that I enjoy looking at. So I've changed the color scheme and then a bit of the layout. I got a nice brush pack from the 3D character workshop for free, just off of his site. They've been really good for attempting to do stylized characters and very easy to just quickly block out. He's got this IMM brush, I believe it's called, yeah. And so this way you can just quickly draw out any of these shapes just by clicking on it and then clicking and dragging, and then it's got a nice crease on the edges, so it looks nicely beveled. And this has been great for just quickly building out the limbs of creatures. Just like for a thigh, you have a bit of the thickness up top and then it gets a bit narrower towards the knee. But yeah, so if you haven't seen him, would definitely recommend. He teaches stuff quite well and uses the Sculptures Pro a lot in his sculpts, just to quickly build out the form how he wants without worrying about that topology and only having it where he needs. But for the moment, I'm not necessarily needing it, and I think those details would distract me more for this process. Just gonna bring down the little, I guess, fat pods, I think they are, on your fingers. Just because what ends up happening is the back side will be a lot longer than the front side. Just because that's how they be built. Then we can make it pull up a bit towards the bottom. And I think I want to have that out a little bit and in there. Cool. Then bring that one down as well. Just so we make sure we keep enough room for it having 3, because we'll have 1 there and then obviously the tip of the finger. So just to quickly draw it out, get the damn standard brush, put a crease there and a crease there, crease there, crease there, then there. Pinky we can do there. Pinky might need to be brought down even more. But as you can see, just having those creases can be a good reference of how the joints in your fingers are broken up. So you can just try and space it a bit better. So I think that'll be good. Then we'll do the same thing just to get a quick... Yeah, that's feeling good. Thumb being a thumb, hella weird. So we'll put its one right there. How do I have you angled right now? It's kind of like that, so... Crease might actually be better to be here. Then we have like the weird creases in our hands. Like that. One from the pinky over there. And from a distance it does read as a hand, which is nice. Saturate those a bit. Probably want to thin this part out because it's that weird kind of flap of skin. So you can build it up a bit there and then bring it down a bit on this side, not too much. So I might actually bring a bit of that back. Okay, can even get the move brush again. Just pull it out a bit. That's good. I have a feeling this whole thumb might be jutting out. It's a bit more than we would like / need. I don't really need to do that. Just bring it down here. Something like that might make a bit more sense. Yeah, and then I think even building it out a bit there, just to block it off a bit. Awesome. That looks good. I might leave it here for today and pick it up again in the next vid. We made some decent progress today on the hand and actually getting to the sculpting part, which is very nice and is a lot more fun than just these spheres. You just feel like you get a lot more control in it and you actually get to sculpt rather than touch spheres and make them into something. But they're a very good starting point to get a quick block out without fiddling with more poly modeling kind of base, which is still good, but I just find you end up saving a bit of time because of the nice flexibility with them. But yeah, so still a lot of work to do. I'll get rid of these creases now as well, just because they may end up being a bit distracting for the next bit, because we still need to focus on the form rather than any of the creases. Usually it's best to keep it nice and rough, so getting rid of all this isn't really necessary at this stage at all. But we are getting close to the stage where we'll focus more on details rather than form, because I think we've got the overall form there now. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Please like and subscribe. Definitely leave a comment if you got something to say. They're all helpful and nice to see. So yeah, have a good one. See you next time.